line. Every people always see a line and draw a line in their daily activities. To find the line, we can draw or connect the points to each other by using pen, pencil or ruler. Okay, for the first, let us know definition of line. Definition of line. A line is a straight arrangement of points. A line made of a set of points with its extended in opposite direction infinitely. A line can be defined as a straight object of geometry that has length but no width. Naturally, a line has infinite length. It can be segmented. Look at the picture. There are 2 points, point A and point B. A line is defined by 2 points. A part of a line that has defined endpoint is called line segment. Look at the picture. There is a line segment AB by 2 points A and B. Okay, this is about definition of line. And then the second part is about various kinds of lines. There are 4 various kinds of lines. The first is vertical line, the second is about horizontal line, the third diagonal line, and the last angular lines. The first, vertical line. Vertical line, a line that extends downward and upwards. And vertical line is a line parallel to the y-axis in coordinate Cartesius. And the second, horizontal line. Horizontal line like this. A line which extends to the right or left direction. Horizontal line is a line parallel to the x-axis in coordinate Cartesius. And the third, diagonal line. Diagonal line like this. Diagonal line, a line segment that goes from one corner to other corner but is not an edge. And the last is about angular line. Angular line like this. Angular lines which meet each other at one point and creating angle. The creating angle is a obtuse angle, acute angle, or a right angle. Okay, that's all about various kind of lines. Okay, the last part is about position of line to other line. For example, we have 2 lines, line A and line B, or like this. The position of line to other line, we have 4 positions. The first is parallel lines. Parallel lines like this or like this. The meaning is line in a plane which do not meet, that is 2 straight lines on a same plane and never intersect, though extended indefinitely. Okay, the second is a perpendicular lines, or like this. Perpendicular lines is the relationship between 2 lines which intersect from like angle. Okay. And the third is a coinciding line. Coinciding line like this or like this. 2 or more lines that lay exactly on top of each other. This is A, this is B, but on the top of each other. And the last or the fourth, intersect line like this or like this. Intersecting line are 2 or more lines that cross or meet at one point. Like this. This is meet at one point.
Okay, we continue about our topic. The next topic is about curve. I know that all of us would know about curve. In our daily life or in our environments, we can find the curves. The example of curves in our daily life or our environments is the routes of trips, the shape of streets, the shape of rivers, and etc. So, what is the curve in mathematics? In mathematics, the curve is one-dimensional geometric shapes. One-dimensional geometric shapes, it means the curve doesn't have width or thickness, but the curve is still have the leg, and the curve is mixed by an arc which can be located on a plane. In general, there are two kinds of curves, which are grouped based on the whether curve can make an area or not. The first kind is open curve and the second kind is closed curve. When we call the shapes is open curve is when the first point of arc doesn't meet the last point of arc. So the arc cannot make an area. The example of an open curve is this word. Why we call this word is open curve? Because the first point of arc doesn't meet the last point of arc. So there is still space is not connecting with an arc. The second kind of curve is closed curve. We call this shape is closed curve because the first point of arc is met with the last point of arc. So the arc will make an area or a particular area. The example of closed curve is this rubber band. Why we call this rubber band is closed curve? Because the first point of arc is met with the last point of arcs. So there is no space is not connected with the arc. So the arc will make an area. Another example about closed curve is bottle cap, is circle, ball, circle, plates, and many others. I think there is many things about the shape of curves we can find in our environments. So for the explanations about curves, I close until here. For the next topic will be explained with my friends.
The last topic is angle. In this topic, I will explain about definition of angles, kinds of angles, the relation between angles, and angles created when a pair of parallel lines is intersected by another pair of parallel lines. Definition of angles. Two rays or two lines and both ray and line can intersect each other at one point to form an angle. Next, kinds of angle. First, right angle. Right angle is an angle whose measure is exactly 90 degrees. Okay, let's see the picture. And then I have a book. In this book, we can see about right angle. For example, from this to this is example of a right angle. Okay, and then from this to this is example of right angle. Second, acute angle. Acute angle is an angle whose measure is less than 90 degrees. Mathematically expressed as alpha is less than O0, less than 90 degree. Third, obtuse angle. Obtuse angle is an angle whose measure is greater than 90 degrees. Mathematically expressed as alpha is less than 90 degrees and less than 180 degrees. Four, strike angle. Strike angle is an angle whose measure is exactly 180 degrees. Okay. I have a book, and then for the example of strike angle is from this to this. Okay. From this to this or from this to this is example for strike angles. 5. Full rotation angles. Full rotation angle is an angle whose measure is exactly 360 degrees. For the example, I have a ball, and then this is for example of the full rotation angles. Exactly 360 degrees. 6. Reflex angle. Reflex angles is an angle whose measure is greater than 180 degrees, but less than 360 degrees. Next, the relation between angles. If more than one line intersect such that some angles are formed, the relation between angles can be formed as well. Supplementary angles. Supplementary angles are two angles which make the sum of the measure is 180 degrees. For the example, we can see the picture. From the picture is 2x plus 3 degree plus x minus 6 degree equals 180 degree. Then 2x degree plus x degree equals 180 degree minus 3 degrees plus 6 degrees. Then 3x degrees equals 183 degree. So x degree equals 63 degree. Complementary angles. Complementary angles are two angles which make the sum of the measure is 90 degrees. For the example, we can see the picture. From the picture, 2x degree plus x degree equals 90 degree. Then 3x degree equals 90 degree. So x degree is 30 degree. Opposite angles. Opposite angles are two angles which are opposite to each other and formed by two intersecting lines, and they have the same measure. So, for the example, we can see the picture. We have angles POS equals angles ROQ, and then angles POR equals angles SOQ. The last topic is angles created when a pair of parallel lines is intersected by another pair of parallel lines. First, corresponding angles. The angles that occupy same relative position while pair of parallel lines are intersected by another line. Second, alternate interior angles. Pair of angles which are on the opposite side of transversal and are outside the two lines. Third, alternate exterior angles. Pair of angles which are on the opposite side of transversal and are inside the two lines. Four, consecutive interior angles. Pair of angles which are on one side of transversal and are inside the two lines. 5. Pair of angles which are on one side of transversal and are outside the two lines.